Happy New Year, everyone. Today is New Year's Eve, so I'm getting ready to go to dinner and celebrate for the new year. So it's 2025 for like a couple more hours. And I just wanted to do a little recap of the year. Um, I did make a little like vision board for this year, and we'll go over what I accomplished and what I did not accomplish. Let's get into it. And maybe I should take it out of the glass. But okay. So in 2025, my goals were to, well, first of all, do the half marathon in Milwaukee with my sister. It was the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon. We did it. It was actually more fun than I thought it would be. And doing the half, it was really not as damaging to my body than I thought it would be, which was good. It still was a lot on my joints and everything, but as far as losing toenails and things like that, that was not an issue for me. And blisters and things like that, like it was no big deal. So that was one of the things I did accomplish. So I have just kind of the route on there. The other thing is a little vlog camera. So I had been daydreaming about like seriously starting my own channel for like probably since 2020. I think that was really when I was like, I could do this. I've got ideas, let's just do it. And then I just never did it. So the plan was that January I was really going to start like finishing videos, but really it kind of just made me more motivated to start recording. But I got a few videos out by the end of the year. I think I have 5 posted on my channel. Honestly, it took a lot of courage just to post things that weren't perfect, and I'm gonna be an amateur until I get experience. And I have to learn how to edit, and I have to learn how to do sound effects or more advanced skills or get lighting right. Just taking the action despite whether it's perfect or not, and doing those baby steps has motivated me so much more than like sitting and thinking about it. Okay, this, I don't know if you can read it, it says, home is where you poop most comfortably. So this is kind of just about being comfortable in my career. My whole career change story is like a video for another day. But when it came down to it, I used to take comfort in someone else being in charge of my pay, my benefits. But as I've grown older, I think I'm starting to find more comfort in self-employment. It's terrifying still, but at least like all the power is in my hands, and if I fail, at least it was my own doing. But if I succeed, like nothing is going to hold me back. I've taken a lot of action towards just building my own thing here at Black Door Homes. And I'm excited. I have so many ideas for the future. Like 2026 is just the beginning. So really excited of what is to come. So I would say the first three are accomplished. Um, this one is more about like starting to find my own career path. Um, and I really made a leap this year, um, becoming a realtor and leaving the stability of just a salary job. Okay, so here's where we get to things that didn't happen. I have been having the itch to move for a really long time just because, now that my stepdaughter, is out of the house and off at college in her own apartment. We lost our dogs this year. So it feels like a big empty house. I'm ready for that downsize, um, and for just something cute and little and easier to maintain. Yeah, but that's what this little cute little cottage represents. And then this is kind of a map of where I wanted to relocate. I feel like this relocating exactly here is kind of just more up in the air now than it was at the beginning of the year. So that's why we've stayed put, and it's good enough for now. But it might be something that comes in 2026. We'll see. This is a place I wanted to visit. This is real close to us in Lake Mills, well, really Aztlan, and it's like an old native mound, and I just wanted to go there, and I haven't, and I'm not going to go there today, so can't really say I've done that um, in 2025, but it is something that I'm thinking about for 2026. I have a few, traveling ideas in mind that aren't necessarily the like typical vacations that I think a lot of people take. More to come on that. And then this is just two cute ladies dancing. I wanted to do sounds bad, swing party. I mean dancing, like swing dance or jazz party with my wife because she's really a talented dancer and she can spin me around. It just didn't happen this year. There used to be a a swing dance at I think it's just the air show, but I think they just don't do it anymore. But that would have been fun. Let me know if there's any, you know, swing dances or jazz party things, and I'd love to attend. Okay, so that's 2025. Technically, there's more things that I didn't do than things that I did do, but I feel like the things that I accomplished this year um, were really life changing. Pretty big deals. So I still call it a win for the year of what I've accomplished. But let's get into next year. Alrighty. So this is something that my team did for us and put these together. We just had to send them kind of images of what our goals were, and then they printed it out and put it in these nice frames. So yeah, let's get into what our 2026 goals are. So the most obvious one in the middle is a YouTube play button, and not necessarily am I like only shooting for the silver play button, but it's just kind of the idea of like really committing to this, not thinking of it as just a hobby, but truly committing to setting aside time for it, really just going for it. And yeah, having fun with it and really diving into those crazy ideas, allowing myself to be fully creative and authentic and weird with it. So I'm sorry that I was covering the microphone and that was probably terrible sound. Okay, so let's just start at this corner. So this is Jasmine. I forget her name, but she has her own show. Yeah, what is the show? It's Help I Wrecked My House. That's what it is. And I think she's awesome. She has a lot of construction knowledge, and I would love to get to the point of being educated enough and I guess experienced enough to start doing makeovers for people and for myself. Because we've done a lot of projects around the house, and my wife's old house, and we've had a lot of fun, and that's my favorite thing to do. So I really want to lean into learning more about construction and developing my skills, leaning into that part of me. I guess I should have went with this one. So this is kind of the overall vibe that at the end of the year, I just want to feel free. And I know it's such a kind of hokey cliche thing that especially like, oh, I'm self-employed now and yada yada and now I'm free as a bird. Like I want to alleviate stress, and I know a lot of becoming self-employed is taking on all of the stress that you basically used to hire other people to do. But I do want to find a way to, you know, as I grow and as I become successful, investing in the things that I would like to. Why am I blanking on what it's called? Where other people do the stuff for you. Delegating. Delegating the things that really are not my best strength, and that are just worth it to alleviate some stress. And even if it's not that, just like getting comfortable enough with it that I feel more confident and less stressed doing the thing myself. But yeah, by the end of the year, I just want to feel like everything I'm doing is manageable and like, yeah, I have deadlines that I have to beat, but it's not like the world is crashing down on me because that's how I feel right now. I feel crazy right now, and I just want to feel different at the end of the year. Okay, next is some Haunted Mansion Disney Mickey ears or mini ears, and this is a Haunted Mansion in the background. I would love to get back to Disney. We haven't like booked a trip or anything this year, but even if the trip doesn't happen this year, I want to be able to book it this year. Even if it's December 31st, 2026, and we're booking the trip, like that'll feel like a win because I just want to feel stable enough financially to take that vacation without worrying about it and be like, yeah, we have the money to cover it, like put the deposit down, like we're taking the trip no matter what. Booking this trip is symbolic of just like we know what's going on, we've got a rhythm, we have income coming in that we can count on. So it's just going to feel so good to take that trip and be like, yeah, we worked our butts off for it. So, all right. Next is just someone getting a tattoo. I don't necessarily want a butterfly on my thigh, but this is just about having tattoo money, which goes in with this trip. Is just, right now we're saving, and just like not really spending. I mean, we just went through the holidays and we spent a lot, but in general, we're kind of just like staying home, really not going out, and we're just being cautious with our finances because we don't really know what the future holds. And that has a lot to do with both my job or my self employment, as well as my wife. She's retiring at the end of February from the military. So her world is totally opening up too. So that's why there's so much weird stuff going on that like we can't really plan for the future because we don't really know what the future is going to be. What was that about? Tattoos? Yeah, I'd love to get a tattoo. But just, yeah, be able to be kind of more free with our finances and not be so. Is it the Six of Pentacles or the Eight of Pentacles? The one where he's like holding on to the coin and just like holding on for dear life. Yeah, just releasing that kind of energy. The next one is stonks. So that's just being able to invest. Honestly, we've been just kind of saving and not really investing lately. So just having that stable income to feel like, oh yeah, we can start investing for our future and, putting money in retirement and things like that, and not feel like, ooh, but we might need that in a month or two. So the next one is paying off our mortgage. So this is kind of one of those where if it's next year, cool. And if we, downsize to a different home, like obviously we're going to pay off this mortgage, and then we don't know if we need a mortgage for another property or not. It's not necessarily about being mortgage free, but I would love to own a home in cash. Just owning a home in cash would really alleviate some of the stressors, which, we're trying to get to here. It would alleviate some of the stressors of just worrying about one more bill. There's so many other things I'd rather worry about than a mortgage if we don't have to, And having a mortgage on something that is more of an investment where someone else is paying you rent, or you get a mortgage on something that you're flipping for a profit and those numbers all work out, like that feels different to me. Okay. Laser eyes. So this is something that I wanted to do for a few years now. My wife, when she turned 40, she got her LASIK eye surgery. And it was something that I was just like not ready for at all. And I was like, maybe in 5 years. Well, 5 years will be 2026. And I definitely want to get it done. But yeah, for the LASIK eye surgery, I'm just so sick of glasses. I'm so sick of paying for glasses. I'm so sick of contacts. I think LASIK eye surgery costs around $5,000 to do both eyes. It's a lot of money, but when you think about spending like $1,000 every year, like you could really pay it off in 5 years, and in 5 years it would be worth it. But just the everyday annoyance factor being alleviated is so good. And my weird brain also thinks of, what if I was on Naked and Afraid, or the actual apocalypse came to be? I'd want to be able to see without any prescription. So, that's where my weird brain goes. And it's just an extra little bonus. And last but not least, this is my goal of having abs. So it sounds very frivolous to just want abs. And like years past, my goal was to not have joint pain. When I turned 30, which was 2021, I just didn't want joint pain. And it has taken a long time to get to a point where I could really start running regularly again. And once I accomplished that, then I could, run further and further. And then I was like, wow, I can do 3 miles. Why not try for a half marathon? So that was my goal last year, half marathon. And after that, I was like, you would think I'd have abs just by, running 4, 5, 6 miles at a time on a regular basis, that like they would just be there. And maybe they are, but my nutrition was so poor that like you just can't see them underneath all the squish. So yes, it's a vain thing to want abs, but I don't deserve abs. I don't think they're very far-fetched for me at this moment in time. I've stayed on top of my health enough to make this an achievable goal. So, hell yeah, I want abs this year, and I'll do the work to get them. I believe that I can do it. And I think that's the hardest part of any fitness goal, is believing that you can actually achieve it. You won't believe that you can do it until you prove to yourself that you can stay on course. I'm going into 2026 with the privilege of having done the hard work for the last like 5 years. So I want to be more inspiring than like discouraging if your goal isn't abs. Does that make sense? Okay. So these are 2026 goals. So I did not address that I use this as a gratitude board for 2025. And there was a lot of lovely things that happened and that I'm grateful for, and people I've reconnected with. And it's just been such a fun year. Yeah, just grateful for the people I got to spend time with. Okay, so obviously the half marathon was a pretty big deal because I really did struggle to, I guess, see myself as an athlete. Like when it came to competitive sports, I that's not what it was about for me. I I'm really not competitive at all. I just don't have that oh, I got to win, and I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not that person. That was a big deal that I actually did that. And by the end of training, I was like, this is so tough on my body and my joints, and like everything hurts. But really, I'd do it again. Like it wasn't that bad. And I bet with a better nutrition plan, I would kick my previous time's ass. These are all little friendly notes from my real estate team. Yeah, we received these when we did a little um, team retreat, and people just kind of wrote them down, put them in a jar, and then we got to read them at the end. And I took mine home because I'm a crier. And when people are nice to me, I cry. So I had to read these alone with a box of tissues. Mrs. Doubtfire, we saw this with my cousin, and it was a good show. Okay, my nieces. Oh my gosh, freaking cutest things ever. So we just had them over for the holidays, and this is from earlier in the year. But it's just so fun to have nieces this age, especially for Christmas. They're so grateful, and they like everything is cool to them, and it's so fun to like see their joy. She made this for me, all about my auntie. That's very cute. These are a few things, a little shout outs from my team leader, one of my team leaders. This is my buddy I made, Gabby. So this is our first date. We hadn't even started yet at on our team, but we both showed up to this like team outing, and we were flown by one of our team leaders because he can fly planes. But we had such a fun time getting to know each other that day, and then when we started I guess training together on the same day, we were just like instant best friends, and it was really sweet. Like she is actually I'm blaming her for getting me into video because she taught me how to like do a reel on Facebook. And so like putting video to music, and then like how you can cut certain things, and she taught me a skill that I've been like experimenting with and using a lot, and um, it's been such an outlet for me to just go ham on these crazy ideas that pop into my head. And I'm so grateful that she taught me that, and just so grateful for her friendship and her encouragement, because real estate is no joke. If you can't stay mentally in it, you're not going to get anywhere. So she has been a rock for me, and I'm so grateful. Love you, Gabby. This is a sad one. These are my doggies. So I think it was 2024 that we lost Grace. She had degenerative myelopathy. So basically, her spine degenerated to the point where she couldn't go to the bathroom on her own, and um, like she couldn't really walk with her. You know, her paws would drag, and basically it started from her back legs and went up her back, and it was really, really sad and traumatic to watch her go through that and to lose her. And she was the middle dog, um, so we were just not expecting that she'd go first. And this is Mia. I think she had kind of a similar thing, but I think we lost her in January or February. But yeah, she just started going downhill and having accidents and just wasn't the same dog she used to be. So Hazel had an infection, and in order to prevent more infections or an emergency visit, she had to get fixed as a 9-year-old dog or 10. And so while she was down for that, she had to get some dental work done. And then a couple weeks later, Mia was put down. But then, like a month or two later, Hazel like just blew up with her lymph nodes, and we only noticed the ones around her neck, but all of her lymph nodes were swollen when we took her in, and she had cancer. She had lymphoma. And so we just kind of gave her the best life we could. She wasn't breathing well, so we put her on steroids, and that gave her a good couple weeks. Once those steroids kicked in, like she could breathe again, she was, running around. And then, obviously when it came back, then, we had to let her go. So, doggies, I love them. All right, so this is me and Amber. So we went to grade school together, and I think we lost touch by like high school, because she moved and went to a different school. But we were just like the best of friends at such a young age. And so it was so cool to reconnect with her. It was just like such a wonderful thing to reach out and actually get a response and actually meet in person and actually, hang out a few times after that, and kind of support her in her business and what she's doing, and how much that just as a friend she's helped me. And also she's like a psychic medium, so like a lot of spiritual growth um, that she's helped me with too. Just so grateful to her this year, and excited for new things to come and for hanging out more. This was a lot of fun as well. So this was basically like my neighborhood gang. Josh and Shay got married, and it was so fun to be at their wedding and to reconnect with like all the neighbors. And I don't get to run into the neighbors a lot. So good to see everyone. And it was such a beautiful wedding. And can I just say, like, the colors were impeccable. Like, they did, like, all the bridesmaids walked down with like rainbow colors, but like it was green, but like olive green, and like, you know, not like the primary bright colors. And it was just so well done. I I loved it. That wedding meant so much to me. We had really just found out about some news personally that literally like blew up our entire lives. It was official that the executive order that Trump signed would mean that my wife wouldn't get to serve in the military anymore. I feel like the anger from that has prevented me from recording. I still have anger about it. I think it's something that I can start talking about now. When the outside world is telling you that you're not good enough for this reason or that reason, and we're literally going to take your rights away as a citizen, and it has nothing to do with your value as a worker, but we're going to take your job away just because of your medical history. When you're experiencing that, it's very discouraging. But when you go to a wedding and see so much love and support for the LGBTQ plus community, it means so much. And I was really sad that my wife couldn't even be at that wedding. It would have meant so much to her. But she was at drill. She was stuck working for the government who is pushing her out. She couldn't even get to experience the joy. But that's what the military is sacrifices. Silver lining wise, I'm looking forward to next year is not having to be without this lady. Unless, you know, we go on a trip or something without each other, or I have some other weird things in the plans that I might, you know, spend a couple nights without her, but, you know, she won't be leaving for drill anymore and I'll be less lonely. So that's my selfish silver lining. What is this? Oh, I think this is one of the confirmation, like, thank you letters. And then, let me put this down because my arm is going numb. This I love. Okay. So 2025 me versus 2030 me. We did this at a team meeting. So family and friends, 2025 me, I said is reconnecting with family and friends. And then by 2030, I want to be doing more regular upkeep of with my family and friends. Faith for 2025 me, I'm still discovering. And then 2030 me, I said discovering. I don't think there's an end to spiritual growth. For fitness, I said 2025 me is building up and 2030 me will be maintaining. So we're still going to have rock hard abs in 2030. So for fun, I would say 2025, fun is a minor part of my life. And for 2030, I want it to be a major part of my life. Financial, I would say right now, 2025 me is a smart saver. And then 2030 me, I want to be a smart investor. For F's given, learning to let go, 2025. And then 2030 me is having full trust in the universe. So obviously, I'm kind of a woo-woo lady. There is something to, like, all the pieces will fall together. You're going to end up where you're meant to be. Part of releasing anxiety is like releasing that control factor, maintaining authenticity, still trying to be a good person, still trying to contribute in some way, unleash some sort of creativity or passion, knowing that if I'm doing all those good things, there will be a good response to that. I think I've rambled enough. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for watching. Lots more to come in 2026. And it's going to be a smorgasbord. Come along for the ride. And the reason I took down this board is because we got a big ass calendar. And I'm going to put it up where my gratitude board was. So that's what I'll be working off of in 2026. And I just got to figure out how to hang it. So maybe I'll just use my little pens. So thanks for watching.